The mall was full of people. Children laughed. Music played from the speakers. Shoppers walked from store to store with bags in their hands. Inside one of the stores, Malik stood near the watch counter. He wore his uniform and a kind smile. Malik had worked there for almost 2 years. He was always on time, always polite, and customers liked him. But that day, something changed. The store manager, Mr. Grant, walked in with a red face and angry eyes. He was a tall white man in a fancy suit. People in the store noticed how fast he was walking. He pointed at Malik and shouted, "You, come here now!" Malik froze. Everyone in the store turned to look. "Yes, sir?" Malik asked, confused. "Don't play smart with me," Mr. Grant said loudly. "Where is the gold watch that was here yesterday?" Malik blinked. I don't know, sir. I wasn't here last night." "You were closing yesterday, weren't you?" "Yes, but I locked the display before I left." Mr. Grant walked closer. He was shouting now. "Then where is the watch? Malik, did you take it?" People started recording with their phones. "No, sir," Malik said, his voice shaking. "I didn't take anything." Mr. Grant turned to the crowd. "This man thinks he can steal and walk free. Not in my store." Malik's face went pale. "Please, sir, I would never steal. I need this job. My mother is sick." But Mr. Grant didn't listen. He snapped his fingers. "Security! Get this thief out!" 2 security guards came in. They looked unsure, but followed the order. "Please!" "Don't touch me," Malik said, trying to stay calm. "I didn't do anything." But they grabbed his arms and pulled him outside the store. His badge fell on the floor. Customers watched in silence. Some laughed, others whispered. One woman, standing at the back of the crowd, had tears in her eyes. She picked up Malik's badge and held it tight. Her name was Rosa. Outside, the guards let go of Malik. He stood in the cold air, heartbroken, eyes full of pain. His phone buzzed, a text from his mother. "Did you get milk after work, baby?" Malik sat down on a bench, staring at the ground. People were still passing by, some even pointing at him. Everything felt like a bad dream. Later that night, Malik walked home. His small apartment was quiet. He opened the fridge, almost empty. He looked at a photo of his mother smiling from a hospital bed. He sat on his bed and cried, not just for the job, but for the shame, the pain, and the unfairness. He whispered, "Why me?" The next morning, someone knocked on his door. He opened it slowly. It was Rosa, the woman from the store. She held out his badge. "You dropped this." Malik looked surprised. "Thank you." "I saw what happened yesterday," she said gently. "It wasn't right." Malik nodded. "I didn't steal anything." "I know," Rosa said. "That's why I want to help. I'm a journalist. Can I talk to you about what happened?" Malik hesitated. He had trusted people before and got hurt. But something in Rosa's eyes felt honest, kind. He opened the door wider and said, "Come in." Inside, they sat with 2 cups of tea. Malik told her everything, how he got the job, how hard he worked, how much he needed the money. Rosa listened carefully. "Do you know if there's a camera in the store?" she asked. "I'm not sure. Maybe the cleaner knows." Rosa smiled. "Then we find the truth." Outside the window, the city moved on. But inside that small apartment, a storm was building. Malik was no longer just a victim. He was about to fight back, and the world would hear his voice. The morning light came through the small window of Malik's apartment. Dust floated in the air. It was quiet, too quiet. Malik sat on the edge of his bed, holding his mother's photo. He remembered her voice, soft and loving. She always told him, "Keep your head high, no matter what." But right now, his head was heavy with shame. Across from him, Rosa looked through her notebook. She had written down everything he told her last night, but she needed more. "Malik," she said softly, "I want to tell your story. But to do that, I need to know who you really are. Malik looked at her with tired eyes. You want to know about my life? Yes, she replied. The truth. From the beginning. Malik nodded. He took a deep breath. I grew up in a small neighborhood. It wasn't rich. We had little, but my mother made sure I never went to bed hungry. My father left us when I was 5. Rosa quietly listened. I worked part-time jobs since I was 15. Fast food, cleaning, delivery. I did everything. I wanted to make my mother proud. She got sick when I was 20. I dropped out of college to take care of her. Rosa felt her chest tighten. That must have been hard. Malik nodded. It was, but I didn't complain. I got that job at the watch store last year. It paid, just enough for rent and medicine. He looked at her, his eyes full of emotion. I never stole a thing in my life. I followed every rule. And still, they treated me like garbage, Rosa wrote silently. Her hand shook slightly. Why do they think we're less than them? Malik asked, more to himself. Rosa didn't answer, but she felt the same pain in her heart. Later that day, Malik and Rosa went to the mall. They stayed far from the store. Malik didn't want to go near it. Instead, they went to the back, near the staff entrance. They waited until a short man in a blue uniform came out holding a mop. That's him, Malik said. That's Tony, the cleaner. Rosa walked up and smiled. Excuse me, are you Tony? The man looked up. Yeah. Who's asking? We're not here to cause trouble, Rosa said kindly. We just need your help. Malik stepped forward. Do you remember me? Tony looked at him and nodded slowly. Yeah. You're the guy Mr. Grant yelled at. I didn't take anything, Malik said, and I need to prove it. Tony looked around. Then he whispered, I saw the whole thing. I was cleaning behind the counter. Mr. Grant never checked the cameras. Rosa leaned in. Were you recording? Tony hesitated. Then he pulled out his old phone. I record when crazy stuff happens. It's not the best video, but it shows enough. He played the clip. The shaky video showed Mr. Grant yelling. It also showed Malik locking the display the night before. The gold watch was still inside. There was no stealing, just false blame. Rosa's eyes widened. This is it. This is what we need. Can I keep a copy? She asked. Tony nodded. Sure. Just don't say it came from me. We won't, Malik promised. Thank you. As they walked away, Malik felt a strange mix of fear and hope. They had proof now. But what would happen if they used it? That night, Rosa edited the video and wrote the full story. She added photos, quotes from Malik, and even details about other black employees who were treated badly at the same store. When it was ready, she posted it online with a strong title. Innocent black worker fired and shamed. The hidden truth. They didn't want you to see. At first, there was silence. Then, the video exploded. Comments poured in. Shares multiplied. People were shocked, angry. Many had seen the clip before, but now they saw the truth. Malik's name was everywhere. The next day, Malik woke up to over 200 messages on his phone. Stay strong, brother. We believe you, Malik. You are not alone. Come work with us. We're hiring. Malik couldn't believe it. Rosa smiled. The world is watching now. But then came the next message. It was from a blocked number. You'll regret this. Malik showed it to Rosa. Her face grew serious. They're scared. That means we're getting close. Malik felt a chill. He had spoken the truth. But now, the fight was just beginning. Malik sat by the window, looking at the street outside. Cars passed by. Children played. But his heart wasn't calm. He held his phone tight. The message from the blocked number stayed in his mind. You'll regret this. He didn't know who sent it. But he had a feeling. Across from him, Rosa typed fast on her laptop. Her article had gone viral. People all over the country were talking about Malik's story. "You're a hero now," Rosa said with a small smile. Malik shook his head. "I don't feel like one." He stood up and walked around the room. "I still don't have a job. People stare at me on the street, and someone is threatening me." Rosa looked serious. "That's because you stood up for yourself. You told the truth. People like Mr. Grant don't want the truth to come out." There was a knock at the door. Malik froze. Rosa stood too. "Did you tell anyone where we are?" "No," Malik said quietly. Another knock. This time louder. Rosa slowly opened the door. It was Tony, the cleaner. He looked nervous, holding something in his hand. A small box. "I had to come," he said. "I found something." He walked in and placed the box on the table. Rosa opened it. Inside was a small black camera. "What's this?" she asked. Tony whispered, "It's a hidden camera. The store installed it 6 months ago, but Mr. Grant never told anyone." Malik leaned in. "So it recorded everything?" Tony nodded. "Yes, I got access to the backup files. I saved a copy on this USB. He handed it to Rosa. "I didn't watch all of it," Tony said, "but I saw enough to know. You're not the one who took the watch." Malik's eyes filled with hope. "Then who did?" Tony looked around and said softly, "Mr. Grant's son. He came in after closing. He has the keys, too. The camera caught him taking the watch and putting it in his bag." Rosa gasped. "That's huge," Tony nodded. "But be careful. If they find out I gave you this, I could lose my job, or worse." "We understand," Rosa said. "Thank you, Tony. You did the right thing." Tony left quickly, looking over his shoulder as he walked away. Rosa plugged the USB into her laptop. The video started. The store was dark. The timestamp showed 10:47 p.m., long after the store had closed. A young man in a hoodie walked in. He moved quickly, looked around, and went straight to the watch counter. He took out a key, unlocked the display, and grabbed the gold watch. Then he smiled at the camera, as if he knew it was there, and walked out. The sky was dark, and the rain had started again. Malik rushed down the stairs of his apartment building with a backpack. His heart was beating fast. He kept looking behind. The black car was still there, parked, quiet, watching. Malik didn't stop. He jumped into a taxi and told the driver, "Just drive, anywhere, fast." 30 minutes later, he reached Rosa's apartment. She was already waiting at the door. "You're safe now," she said, pulling him inside. But Malik didn't feel safe. "Not really." "I think they're following me," he said. Rosa locked the door. "Let them watch. The truth is already out. They can't stop it now." She handed him a towel and some hot tea. As Malik sat down, the news played on the TV. Breaking. Video proves fired black employee was innocent. Store owner's son caught stealing. Public demands arrest. Malik stared at the screen. His name was on it, his face, his story. But instead of feeling proud, he felt tired. "I didn't want fame," he said quietly. "I just wanted to work, live in peace, take care of my mom's memory." Rosa sat beside him. "You didn't ask for this, but sometimes life chooses people to stand up, even when they don't want to." The next morning, Malik's phone rang again. Unknown number. He didn't answer. Then Rosa's phone buzzed. She picked it up and her eyes went wide. "It's Mr. Grant," she whispered. She answered, putting the call on speaker. His voice was cold. "Tell Malik to stop. Take that video down. Now." Rosa didn't reply. "You think you're clever?" he continued. "You're playing with fire." "Your son stole the watch," Rosa said calmly. "We have video proof. The whole world saw it." Grant laughed. "That doesn't matter. I have money. I have lawyers. You have nothing." "Wrong," Malik said, stepping closer to the phone. "We have the truth." There was silence. Then Grant's voice became sharp. "You'll regret this. You both will." He hung up. That afternoon, the store posted a statement online. "We are deeply sorry for what happened. Malik was wrongly accused. The employee responsible has been let go. We are reviewing our store's practices." But they didn't name the real thief. They didn't say Mr. Grant's son. They were trying to cover it up again. Malik clenched his fists. "They're still hiding him." Rosa nodded. "They want people to forget, but we won't let them." Later that day, Rosa received an invitation from a local TV station. They wanted Malik to speak live. At first, he didn't want to go. "I don't like cameras. I'm not a speaker." But Rosa looked at him. "People are listening now. This is your chance to make real change, not just for you, but for others like you." Malik thought about it. Then he agreed. That evening, Malik sat under the hot lights of a TV studio. Across from him, the host smiled warmly. "We're here with Malik Johnson, the man who stood up against injustice." "Malik, welcome." Malik nodded nervously. "Thanks." The host leaned forward. "How do you feel today after everything?" Malik paused. Then he spoke, his voice clear and strong. "I was embarrassed in front of everyone. I was blamed for something I didn't do. But the worst part wasn't losing my job. It was how normal people looked at me, like I was nothing, like I deserved it." He looked at the camera. "But I didn't deserve it, and no one else does either. We're human. We have dignity. We work hard, and we shouldn't be treated like garbage just because of our skin color or where we come from." The studio was quiet. The host nodded. "What would you say to the person who did this to you?" Malik didn't blink. "You thought I would stay silent. You thought I'd break. But I'm still standing. And now, the whole world sees who you really are." The interview went viral that night. Millions watched it. News sites quoted Malik's words. Schools showed the clip in classrooms. People cried. People cheered, but not everyone was happy. That same night, someone threw a brick through Rosa's window. A note was tied to it. "Shut up, or next time it'll be worse." Rosa picked it up, her hands shaking. Malik looked at her. "Are you okay?" She nodded, her eyes hard. "Let them come. I'm not scared." Malik stepped beside her. Neither of them spoke for a while, but they knew something now. The truth had power, and power always scares the wrong people. Early the next morning, Malik and Rosa stood in front of a large building. A sign above the door read, "County Courthouse." Malik looked nervous. His hands were sweating. "Are you sure this is the right step?" Rosa nodded. "We have the video. We have the truth. Now it's time for justice." They walked up the stairs slowly. Inside, the courthouse was quiet but heavy with seriousness. A woman at the front desk looked up. "Can I help you?" Rosa stepped forward. "We'd like to file a complaint against Mr. Grant and his son." The woman looked surprised. "You'll need to speak with a judge directly. Do you have an appointment?" "No," Rosa said. "But this is urgent." She slid a folder across the desk. Inside was the USB with the video, copies of Malik's firing notice, the viral article, and screenshots of the threats they received. The woman looked through the file for a few seconds. Then she picked up the phone and made a call. "You may be lucky," she said, covering the phone with her hand. "Judge Raymond is still here." 10 minutes later, they were sitting in a small, private office. Across from them sat Judge Eleanor Raymond, a woman in her 60s with silver hair and calm but sharp eyes. She looked at them kindly. "I've seen your video, Mr. Johnson, and I've read your file. What happened to you was not just wrong. It may be criminal." Malik stayed quiet. He couldn't believe a judge was actually listening to him, like his voice mattered. "Do you have any legal help?" she asked. Rosa shook her head. No one yet. We've been doing this alone. Judge Raymond smiled. Not anymore. She picked up her phone. Later that day, a well-known civil rights lawyer came to meet them. His name was David Owens, and he had helped many people in similar cases. He shook Malik's hand. Your story is powerful. We can file a case for wrongful termination, defamation, emotional damage, and even press charges for the threats you received. Malik still couldn't believe it. Do you really think we can win? David nodded. With the evidence you have? Absolutely. Rosa smiled. It's time they face the consequences. That night, news of the court filing spread fast. TV news channels ran the headline, "Fired worker takes store owner to court after hidden camera reveals shocking truth." Some people supported Malik. Others doubted him. But the pressure kept growing. Then something unexpected happened. 3 more former employees of Mr. Grant's store came forward. They contacted Rosa privately. They had stories. One said he was fired after speaking up about the owner's son stealing cash from the register. Another said she was told not to speak to black customers too much. The third had been forced to sign a false statement or lose her job. Rosa and Malik were shocked. This isn't just about me, Malik said quietly. He's been doing this for years. Rosa nodded. Now the truth is finally catching up. The next morning, Judge Raymond officially opened a hearing. She ordered both Mr. Grant and his son to appear in court the following week. But that night, another threat came. This time, it was serious. Someone tried to set fire to Rosa's car outside her building. Luckily, a neighbor saw it and called 911. The fire was stopped. No one was hurt, but the message was clear. They want to scare us, Malik said. Rosa looked at him, tired but strong. It won't work. Let them try. 3 days later, Malik and Rosa were called to the courthouse again. But this time, they didn't go alone. A large crowd stood outside holding signs. Justice for Malik. End racism now. We believe you. Strangers came forward to support him. Local news cameras were everywhere. As Malik walked up the courthouse steps, someone in the crowd yelled, "We're with you, brother!" He smiled for the first time in days. Inside the courtroom, things were quiet again, but not for long. Because the judge had seen the truth. The people had heard the truth. And now, it was time to speak it loud, in front of the world. The courtroom was packed. People filled every seat. Some even stood in the back. Cameras weren't allowed inside, but that didn't stop reporters from waiting outside, ready to break the news. Malik sat quietly at the front, beside Rosa and lawyer David Owens. His hands were shaking, but his eyes were focused. This was it, the moment he had feared and waited for. On the other side of the room, Mr. Grant walked in, wearing a dark suit and fake smile. His son Bradley followed him, head down, sunglasses on, trying to hide from everyone. But everyone saw him. The judge entered. "All rise," the bailiff called. Judge Raymond took her seat. "This court is now in session." David Owens stood up. He spoke with calm power. "Your Honor, my client, Mr. Malik Johnson, was publicly humiliated, wrongfully fired, and threatened, all because of a lie." He turned to the crowd. "But today we will show the truth." He clicked a remote. A video began playing on the screen for the court. It showed the hidden camera footage, clearly showing Bradley slipping the expensive watch into his own pocket. Then the part where Malik was blamed, fired, laughed at, humiliated. Gasps filled the courtroom. People shook their heads in shock. Bradley looked down at the floor. Mr. Grant's fake smile disappeared. David continued. Not only was Mr. Johnson innocent, he was a victim of racial profiling used as a scapegoat to protect a rich man's son. Then it was the defense lawyer's turn. He stood and tried to twist the truth. "My client's son had no intention to steal. He was only checking the product. Maybe he forgot. People forget things all the time." Malik's lawyer stood again. Forgot? Then why did your client let an innocent man take the blame? Why was Mr. Johnson never given a chance to explain? A week after the courtroom victory, Malik sat quietly on a bench outside the same store where everything had started. The store was still there, but it looked different now, not because of the sign or the windows. It looked smaller, empty, almost forgotten. People walked by without going in. Mr. Grant's once busy business had become a symbol of shame. Inside, only a few workers remained, and even they looked tired. Mr. Grant stood behind the counter. His face was pale, his eyes cold. The store was silent. No customers, no smiles, just memories of what used to be. And then, the door opened. Malik walked in. Everyone turned to look. The room froze. Mr. Grant stepped forward slowly. You got what you wanted. What else do you want from me? Malik looked around. I didn't come for revenge. I came to see the place one last time. He walked past the shelves where he used to work, past the clock he used to punch in with, past the floor he used to mop. This place gave me 4 years of hard work, he said, and 10 minutes of pain I'll never forget. Mr. Grant said nothing. Malik walked up to the front desk. But here's what I've learned. He smiled. You can't bury the truth forever. It always finds a way out. Later that evening, Malik returned home. His phone rang. It was Rosa. Her voice was excited. You won't believe this, she said. The video hit 10 million views, Malik laughed. 10 million? That's crazy. People all over the world are sharing your story, Rosa said. They're calling it a lesson in strength and justice. Malik was silent for a moment. He had never wanted to be famous. He just wanted to be respected. But now his story was giving hope to others, people who had been hurt, judged, or ignored. The next morning, Malik sat in a small office with David Owens and Rosa. On the table was a business plan. It had a name written in big, bold letters, The Honest Way. It was Malik's idea, a new kind of store, one that treated everyone with respect, no matter their skin color or background. Rosa smiled. Are you ready to be your own boss? Malik nodded. I think it's time. David placed the legal papers on the desk. And thanks to the court settlement, you have the money to make it happen. Malik signed the papers. His hands weren't shaking this time. Opening day came fast. The Honest Way was bright, clean, and full of life. Customers came in smiling. Workers were treated fairly. No one was judged by how they looked or where they came from. And standing at the center of it all was Malik, now a proud store owner. People from the community came to shake his hand. Old friends came to cheer. Even strangers came just to say thank you. News crews came again, this time not for scandal, but for success. One young man walked up to Malik and said, I saw your story online. I was about to quit my job because of how they treated me, but your story gave me courage. Thank you. Malik shook his hand and smiled. That's why I shared it, he said, so no one else would feel alone. Later that night, Malik closed the store and stepped outside. The air was cool. The stars were bright. Rosa stood beside him. Look at what you built, she whispered. Malik looked up at the sign, The Honest Way, glowing softly in the dark. I didn't do it alone, he said. Then he chuckled. Funny thing is, they laughed at me once. Rosa smiled. And now? Malik turned and walked away slowly, his voice calm and proud. Now I'm the one laughing. And it's the last laugh.